right, let's get into Game 6, a game where the Spurs absolutely dominated. I was waiting for the moment for OKC to put together a run to make it interesting. It never really happened. Wemby starts off the game really aggressive. They hit a bunch of three-point shots, and they bottled up Shai once again. And now we got a Game 7 back at OKC.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy seeing Shai have this many games that just, I don't know. It's kind of like to be expected in this series now. When we go into these games, I'm kind of trying to figure out who's going to be the role player that steps up for them, because I'm almost anticipating Shai having one of these 6 of 17, 7 and 19 type games. And so I'm like, man, is Jared McCain going to pop off for some threes? Is Chet going to be aggressive again? A lot of things obviously happened to start this game. A lot of good things for the Spurs, but the main thing is that third quarter. It was, I can't remember the last time I've seen a team collectively defend that way. They were a complete night and day difference than Game 5. I felt like Game 5 they were a step behind on a lot of defensive rotations, and it led to a lot of good looks and open shots for OKC. For them to go on that run, and I remember that run reaching 11-0, 13-0 run.
Yep.
And I kind of just felt like at some point OKC was going to get an easy one and kind of stop the bleeding, and it just didn't let up. Yeah, it felt like the more and more that run got extended, the more that drought went on, the better they defended. And then you started to see OKC look like the Spurs from Game 5, where I remember Shai just came up and threw a 3 up. J-Dub kind of just threw a 3 up. They got some steals on Shai, and I was just like, wow, I just don't remember the last time I seen a team defend like that as a unit, rotation-wise, and the last time a team made OKC look like that. 7 minutes is crazy.
They were very disciplined. And in a series where Miss Johnson has said multiple times when they do get undisciplined, it gets bad, there was one missed rotation by Dylan Harper, like at the end of the second quarter, where he burned the timeout in order to get that underway. And I think that what showcases a good team from a great team, and obviously both these teams great, you don't get to the conference finals without that being the case, at least out west, is how you respond. And the Spurs in the third quarter have been just killing it. You know, I think this may have been 1 or 2 games where it was flipped, but for the most part, the entirety of this run for them, they have been a team that's coming out of halftime and dogging the other team. And that matters a lot.
And I want to give a lot of credit to the others. I think that's been a big story the whole year, is that the others were able to support when Wemby was out, when Fox was out. You had other guys step up. And in some of these games, the role players just really haven't found their groove. But that last game, they were there. You know, you had a lot of players step up, and that's where you can get a lot of guys hitting threes. And I think that's the type of confidence you need going into that Game 7 for a lot of these role players, especially on the road.
Vassell had the block on Wemby. Something, again, I pointed out now that 6 times Wemby has been blocked by like a winger guard coming up behind him. Like I'm sorry, Chat.
Vassell blocked Wemby.
But Dort did block. You confused me.
My fault. Where Chet has been blocked by a wing or a guard behind him because he's taking forever to load up, and he pumped that chest, talking that. That
was dope, because that was like a whole pause within that play, and he's continuing to go even though the play is dead. He's still clapping, and Reggie Miller to I love it. But yeah, I think the others from San Antonio was just phenomenal. Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper came off the bench, giving them some shot creation off the dribble, getting to his spots, pull up middies. He was just giving everybody work. It didn't matter who was in front of him, whether it's Caruso, Shai. It didn't matter. And I love that, because he definitely nullified the bad performance from De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox just hasn't been able to get it going, and maybe it's his high ankle sprain.
Definitely.
But Dylan Harper's also done with an adductor, so they seem to be playing through it, and Dylan Harper played through that very well.
Yeah, it's probably the first game that the Spurs bench outscored the Thunders.
I believe.
The depth has been the big differentiating factor. I think that Fox definitely is not scoring well. His burst is not there, but the steadiness is what's been important. I don't think it's a coincidence that Stephon Castle had 11 turnovers, 9 turnovers in the games that De'Aaron Fox wasn't there, and now it's been 1-1-1-1-1. You're like, I think that matters a little bit to take that responsibility away from Stephon. And I think Stephon Castle himself has been great overall. I think I said in my video that he has to have the crown for the best Shai defender in the league right now. And I don't even know who would be a close second. I think it really is just him, the way he's been doing things. They threw a lot of doubles at Shai to start the series. But for the last couple games, for the most part, Shai has been seeing single coverage. And, of course, you get the nail help. You get all of these type of things depending on where Shai is operating from. But it has been Stephon Castle sitting in that chair and preventing the MVP of the league from being efficient from the field. And, again, like P said earlier, I don't know if we've ever had a 6-game, 5-game stretch from Shai that looked this bad.
Last game he had 30+, but it was really mostly getting to the line with the free throws. He could have easily had another game where he looked a lot very subpar.
Yeah, man.
And it's also just like the others didn't really provide anything. And Lou Dort was kind of just like
That's
he was
a
playing.
win.
He was playing for the other team.
That's
like,
a win.
He was legitimately playing for the other team, bro. He was taking some threes that I'm just like, what are you doing? Like he's taking deep top of the key
Deep threes.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just
and
like,
not even like late in the shot clock.
yeah, some of them were early in the shot clock, and I'm just like, I understand he's trying to be aggressive.
How relieving is that to be on the floor knowing you fearing Shai and so much attention got to go to him, and Dort go 1 of 9.
Just it got to feel
Man.
1 of 9.
He won him not 2.
1 of 9.
He might have went 2 of 11, 1 of 9.
I think the worst thing that happened is that early in the game he hit one of them corner threes,
He did.
and at that point he just like bet. Yeah. And he just kept letting it fly, and I'm just like, bro.
One of the things for me also night and day, I talked about it maybe yesterday, but in that game 5, the Wemby demanding the basketball and kind of just having these terrible looks and forcing it. I thought yesterday he didn't necessarily demand the ball in the same way, but the ball got to him early when he was hot and starting off, and he was a lot better because I felt like he was extremely decisive and quick with his moves. It wasn't holding and letting them set up, and he put it on all display. He had paint presence. He knocked down the threes. He had offensive rebounds, some tip-ins, some mid-ranges. He had a turnaround mid-range jump shot, some alley-oops. He had everything on full display, so I love to see that bounce back from him. I also just love for them to be such a young team, the starts that they have.
Yeah.
And that's why I know that game 3 really hurt them a lot because you started off 15-0. But like every one of these home games they've had these really strong, amazing starts where you see Dayton have to call a timeout early on and you get that crowd rallying behind you. So hopefully they can take some of that into game 7 because it feels like whoever's throwing that first punch for the most part is able to control the game.
Yeah, I don't see how OKC continues to be like caught off guard by this. Like seems like every game is like San Antonio's up early, starting the game, and I just feel like OKC got to come out and find a way to get out early.
I also kind of, knock on wood, but I don't, my confidence level of seeing J-Dub the remainder of the playoffs have dropped off significantly watching last night. There's no way that I can make myself believe that I'm about to see him play basketball.
It was bad. I got the notification. I was like, let's go. You know, we've been waiting to see, you know, healthy both teams. Obviously, A.J. Mitchell's still out. And then when he finally checked into the game, I was like, yeah, he shouldn't be out there. It was apparent, like, in the first 20 seconds.
Jamal Crawford even said, like, when you're dealing with Russ, one of the first things that go is your handle. And you saw
it out of bounds.
Yeah, his handle was not there.
I mean, it literally was like 15 minutes before the game. So it was like, when it's right at game time decision, I always do feel a little bit, you know, a little shaky. I know it's like the playoffs and it's a really big moment, but it's tough to just hop right into the fire.
Yeah, man. Yeah, one more game when we come back.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.